Hey Thomas, get in the car. Hi Ash, good to see you. 14 days in lockdown. You're unbelievable.
And now freedom.
You know you're free. So how does it feel to see Polestars on the road in China?
It always feels good when you finally see the product on the road. And of course, this type of mega city thing, different number plates and everything is kind of, that little twist different. So of course it's special.
So Thomas, you're here in Shanghai. You're going to the Beijing Auto Show next week to show the Precept for the first time. Technically, you should have showed it in Geneva. You really stole the show by releasing the images. So what's in store for Polestar at the Beijing Auto Show?
I think that is still, for me, the highlight of the year, to having that car on stage.
Yeah.
The general public, journalists really experience and seeing the car live. I was so much hoping that we make it somehow in March, April, that we could invite some people, but then everything, week after week, it became worse, and we had to cancel week by week, more and more and more. So now, okay, people know virtually from the screen, but you know how it is. I mean, the way how you experience it live, and then people really talking about it, that will be different. It's such a stunning, beautiful car. I'm really keen on having it out there, and of course, we will have a little bit of news to add to that.
Sure. Sustainability is a big part of your communications and your brand ethics.
Yeah. No, we realized, as much as we were now busy 2-3 years developing an electric car, but we totally got that. Come on, that is just the beginning.
Sure.
I mean, it's the prerequisite to start something of a sustainable life. But us as a car industry, we have so much more to do with it. We have the way that we produce the cars, the way what we use material-wise. I mean, all of that what we have here. 10 years ago, you didn't spend
it was a secondary thought,
no?
Right?
Now it becomes so important, is it material that you actually somehow can resource from recycled material? Is it material that is kind of naturally growing? Or do you, waste precious oil that, we need for really very valuable things? Or do we put it into, plastic panels in a car? So I think there we really have to change the game. So that's, of course, a big part of the Precept storytelling, showing how amazing, beautiful, and inviting and great and interesting these materials can be, and that you actually don't lose anything if you do not do the classic wood, leather stuff, but really do some high-tech fibers and this new composite materials.
How are consumers taking to these new composite materials? Because they've grown up with 100 years of leather has been the best.
Yeah, but Ash, that's the thing. There's no doubt about it. Just look at how we run around. I mean, our sneakers and whatever. Do we wear much leather shoes nowadays anymore? No, of course not. When I go training, I don't wear my cotton wool shirt. I, of course, take a nice material that is breathable and stuff.
Sure.
These high-tech materials, they are absolutely en vogue. Even the high street fashion industry takes now that kind of sportswear aesthetic into there. So I think luxury-wise, that is the new way of expressing premium.
So earlier this month, you released a report on true sustainability and how, say, a car like this Polestar 2 compares to an XC40 over the lifetime of its use. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
That's an idea about life cycle analysis.
Sure.
That you really, from the very beginning, the materials that you put into the car, how you produce it, till the very time when you deliver to the customer, give an exact status of the burden of CO2 that is connected to this car, the carbon footprint. If you want to talk about sustainability in the future and cars, really us as a industry, we have to become a little bit more clear on what are we talking about. So we should really align on the standards, how we measure how sustainable
What
car
is sustainability?
And that is life cycle assessment. And that is, of course, where everybody has to know an electric car in the beginning has a carbon footprint which is higher than
slightly higher, right?
Slightly higher than a combustion engine car. It varies. It depends a lot on how it is produced. But then, and that is the beauty about the electric car, from that moment you have the chance, charging it with green energy, to really go down. And after every kilometer you do, you will be gaining on the CO2 side. You will be making it.
You're cutting it back.
So that is an important thing to know. For us getting as an industry better in reducing how much burden you put out with the car in the beginning, and for the consumer to understand, okay, the way how I charge my car, what energy I put into it, matters a lot, whether that car makes sense for the environment or not.
Sure, makes complete sense.
Wow, that's kind of a...
Now we're in real Shanghai, right?
The traffic here.
This is real old Shanghai.
I mean, it's amazing how all that two-wheel traffic, how that is fitting in without,
And they're all electric too.
Yeah.
The electric revolution has happened here in China for sure. Okay, so what's next for the Polestar brand? You've got Precept coming at the Beijing Auto Show. Any other big announcements? I'm looking forward to seeing it. I cancelled my trip to Geneva, so unfortunately I missed it.
You know that we had built up the whole Geneva stand. It was all, the only thing that was missing was putting the cars on the stand. And then 36 hours before gate opening, they cancelled. That was a crazy time. Yeah. It's just some wood here. Yeah, we have wood inserts.
We have wood here.
Toy. I really hope that Beijing will now run smoothly.
Beijing will be fine, no problem. No problem. So many people are saying, could Polestar have been a Volvo? Did Volvo Cars, did Geely Holding need to make Polestar? What's your response?
Of course, it would have been easy in a way to take the Polestar 1 and say, come on, we make it a Volvo.
Sure.
And yeah, maybe that could have been the way of taking, whatever product we come and implement it to Volvo, but you would have missed out on the one big opportunity that we have here, and that is really to create a brand that doesn't exist like that before.
Sure.
And the brand that really brings this new proposition to the customer, that has total dedication to sustainability, that has as well that kind of technology in the forefront. Volvo would never do that.
No.
I mean, that embracing of a sporty, premium, a brand that loves innovation and stuff. And at the same time, take all the crap from the past away and do things
there's no
new.
Legacy. There's just completely new.
And imagine that to have in our brand portfolio, a brand that is really, I would say, that thing that can be in competition with Porsche and with Tesla, and really put this new brand Polestar that is in that kind of. I think that is really an opportunity that the people who did do that really saw that is the one big thing that would really change and add something that we would never ever achieve with.
It would have been too hard.
Impossible. Yeah, you would waste all the energy that you would need to do it. You would waste in fighting the resistance against it.
Sure. So it's just easier to do it with a completely new team, a new product portfolio, and just get it out there. Okay, here we are.
Great, thanks for the ride. See you in Beijing.
See you in Beijing.